Histin News Daily is your go-to podcast for a daily dose of history. Each episode dives into significant events, births, and deaths that occurred on this day in history. From pivotal moments in world history to intriguing anecdotes about famous figures, we bring the past to life in an engaging and informative format. I'm Chris Bernard. Stay informed and entertained with new episodes released every day, keeping you connected to history regularly.
Here are 15 significant historical events that happened on June 8. 632 Death of Prophet Muhammad. The founder of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, passes away in Medina, now part of Saudi Arabia. 793 Viking Raid on Lindisfarne. Considered the beginning of the Viking Age, Norse raiders attacked the abbey at Lindisfarne, England, marking the first known Viking raid in Western Europe. 1783 Laki Eruption in Iceland. The eruption of the Laki fissure begins, leading to widespread environmental effects and famine in Europe due to the volcanic ash cloud. 1861 Tennessee secedes from the Union. Tennessee becomes the last state to secede from the Union during the American Civil War. 1912 Discovery of the Ghost Ship Mary Celeste. The Mary Celeste, a ship found abandoned in 1872, was finally sold at a New York auction on this date, continuing the mystery of its fate. 1949 Publication of George Orwell's, 1984, George Orwell's dystopian novel, 1984, is published, introducing terms like Big Brother and Orwellian into the lexicon. 1966 Formation of the National Football League and American Football League merger. The NFL and AFL announce their merger agreement, which leads to the formation of the modern NFL. 1967 Six-Day War ceasefire. A ceasefire is declared between Israel and Arab states, ending the Six-Day War in the Middle East. 1982 Israeli invasion of Lebanon. Israel launches Operation Peace for Galilee by invading Lebanon in response to attacks from the PLO. 1995 Downing of American pilot Scott O'Grady. U.S. Air Force Captain Scott O'Grady is shot down over Bosnia and Herzegovina and survives in hostile territory for 6 days before being rescued. 2004 Funeral of Ronald Reagan. Former U.S. President Ronald Reagan is laid to rest after a state funeral in Washington, D.C., attended by numerous world leaders. 2009 Air France Flight 447 black boxes recovered. After extensive search efforts, the black boxes from Air France Flight 447, which crashed into the Atlantic Ocean, are recovered, helping to solve the mystery of the crash. 2014 Mosul falls to ISIS. ISIS militants capture the city of Mosul in Iraq, marking a significant expansion of their territory. 2017 James Comey's Senate testimony. Former FBI Director James Comey testifies before the Senate Intelligence Committee about his interactions with President Donald Trump regarding the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election. 2020 George Floyd protests. Worldwide protests continue in response to the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis, highlighting issues of police brutality and racial injustice. These events reflect a wide range of historical moments from religious significance and literary milestones to political upheavals and scientific advancements.
Uncover lesser-known facts and intriguing anecdotes about historical events and figures that may surprise and inspire you. By engaging with history on a daily basis, you'll develop a stronger connection to the world and its rich tapestry of events and personalities. You can find Histin News Daily on popular podcast platforms like Apple, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Subscribe today to start your journey through history, one day at a time. I'm Chris Bernard. Thank you for listening to our Daily Today in History podcast. Remember to subscribe to our podcast and follow us on YouTube for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and discussions about history's impact on our world today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow and find out more today in history.